back to my channel. So today I'm going to do my beauty bank for the month of October. We are there, we are almost there. We are less than 2 months away from you know what. So yeah, time is ticking on crazily. Okay, so I realize it's Halloween as I post this, but I don't have a very Halloween-y vibe. That's fine. I am happy that it is over and hope everyone has a fun time today and not too much of a hangover tomorrow if you are partying or if you have children. Hopefully they go to bed and they sleep, but if not, whatever. Anyway, so I'm gonna go through kind of some bits and bobs for this video like I always do. So I have one makeup empty that I'm going to run through. I have one makeup pan that I've hit, which is so sad to me. I was looking at my numbers, I was like, what? I only hit one pan this month? And I did, but it's fine. I have steady progress on stuff and I'm going through a lot of stuff. I had a lot of success in September because I really didn't do much at all in August. So this has just been another month of just slow progress, but not real like true results yet, which is fine. I do have some new makeup. I have shown my new makeup in videos, so it's not a spoiler or anything, but if you didn't watch those videos, obviously you can watch this video to see what new makeup has come into my collection as well. So we're gonna go run through that, my pan percentage, and also just some like movies and music I've been listening to, although I feel like this month has been pretty mediocre, not very many things have been going on. I don't know how October has 31 days and it feels like this month went by in 2 weeks. It was very, very, very fast. So I don't know how that happened. But anyway, we are here, so let's start. Okay, so I think I always start with the eyeshadow pans that I've hit. I've only hit one, and I did talk about this already right at the beginning of the month. So I hit pan in this palette from Glam Shop. This was in my Pan Those Eyeshadows, and I hit pan in this shade right here. I have not hit pan in any other shade this month, which is so sad to me. I have rolled out another shade from my Pan Those Eyeshadows, but I didn't hit pan in it, but I hit the like total uses. And then with my Pan That palette, I haven't hit any more pans. And I have my Project Level Up, I haven't hit any more pans. So everything is like slow. I mean, it's steady, but it's slow. So I'm hoping that in November, I see some more pans. I have a few that I think will definitely happen, but we'll see. Okay, the only makeup item that I have finished, which honestly I could probably squeeze out a tiny bit more in the next day, so I'm gonna count it as done, but it is, you know, I might have like one more use on it. I really struggled to get anything out of it this morning. It is my Charlotte Tilbury foundation. This is what it's looking like. I just did my project pan last week, and I thought I had like a good other month. But the pump won't pump anymore, and really the only way for me to get this product is to cut it open, and I don't really want to cut it open. I might consider doing that because it is Charlotte Tilbury and you spend your whole bank account on her items for whatever reason. We do that, so maybe I will, but I'm gonna call this done. So this kind of will spoil for my next project pan video because it will definitely be done in 3 weeks time because I usually film 3rd week of the month. So yeah, this one is nice and done, and this is obviously a big full-size item, so it's nice to like get like an actual like foundation out of my collection because I keep buying stuff and not finishing. So I've officially finished that, or maybe officially in like a day, but well, whatever, we'll just say it's official. So that's pretty much it in terms of pans and empties. Let's get into new makeup because this is always exciting for me, even though I really shouldn't be. This started off as a makeup beauty bank where I'm not trying to spend any money, and I had point system and everything. So if you used to watch it back then, you know what I mean. And I did really well one year, and then I stopped doing well and I just started buying stuff, but that's what I've allowed myself to do this year. So if I feel like I can afford it and it's not going to be too overwhelming for me to bring certain items into my collection, then I allow myself to do that. Obviously, not everything that I buy I think thoroughly, though. I do impulse buys quite a bit of the time. These, I wouldn't say they're impulse buys, but they were kind of, I mean, like, I don't know, I bought them. Well, one of these, okay, whatever, let's just start over. I got a Colourpop collection, I got the Haunted Mansion collection, and I got this, well, I bought it at the beginning of September, and I only just got it in the last like 5 days. So this one, I got it and then I just didn't think about it for 2 months. So I got this palette, and it was my last video I posted on my channel of me playing with all of this, but I really, really liked this palette when I went into it just a few days ago. It's a really cool tone, and I think just for Colourpop, this is the good quality Colourpop, and I was so burned out by Colourpop the last time I bought from them, which was my Aurora Lights. I said that in my video just a few days ago, that I was worried that, you know, this might be the same case because it's another cool tone, slightly darker palette, but this was really, really beautiful. And obviously I only did the one look, so I actually would be very interested in going back into it. I just like the contrast. I like that there's a lot of light shades with the dark. It's not just all one tone. And I like palettes like that. I don't mind dark shades as long as you actually have a contrast. So yeah, I actually really like this palette. I have no care about the Haunted Mansion sort of series on Disney or the rides or anything like that. I couldn't care less. No nostalgia, but I really like the look of the palette, and I did get the whole collection. So in terms of the lip products, I've had a little bit of a journey. So you come with 4. There are 3 matte lips and then 1 liquid, one lip gloss. I haven't tried this yet. I think this is just settled because it does kind of worry me. There's like black dust in there. It looks like it's supposed to be like that, and because it's been traveling, it's just settled all at the bottom. Let me know if you have this collection and you know what I'm talking about, if that's the case. Otherwise, I haven't put that on my lips because I'm a little bit worried, although it smells divine. They all smell really nice. I actually have this one on my lips today. This is one of the liquid lips, and this one is obviously a neutral shade, and it's the shade Beware. This is the second time that I've worn it. I like it because it's a very cool tone. It's not too dark. It's more of a neutral, but it is a little bit more wintry, but I just like it. Compared to these two, I haven't tried these two yet. This brown one I'm very, very interested and intrigued in, but I have to, like, I could have worn this today and it would have been a lot more vampy, but I wasn't in the mood, and I do have to jump on a call with work in this afternoon, so I didn't want to be like too over the top. But this one I did wear for my video when I tried it on. What I will say is this ended up getting all over my fingers, and it was very, very messy. So they're very moussey. They are obviously, you know, liquid lips, but they're very moussey, so they're not too bad. They're not too drying. Like, I feel like they're pretty weightless on the lips, and they wear really nicely. But because they're kind of more of a whipped formula, a lot of the product stays at the top of, like when you put the wand in. I don't know what I'm talking about, but anyway, it just ended up being very, very messy, and obviously they don't really, it's hard to get off your fingers. So will say that, but that came with the collection, and already I've been having fun with at least the lighter, darker tone of it. But I thought the purple was fine too for what I was doing. It was not something that I would wear all the time. The collection also comes with 4 Super Shocks, so these did come in. I did not try these on my eyes, but I did swatch them in that video, so you can go have a look if you want to. But basically there's like 2 blues, 1 dark, 1 lighter one. They look very pretty. And then there's even a dark, really dark one, and then there's a purple. The purple I feel like is pretty lackluster, so I don't think you need the purple, but definitely this light one, which is the shade Creeping. I think this one is really pretty. So it comes with that, and also comes with a glow-in-the-dark body glitter, which I have not used and I will not be using, but maybe next Halloween. Who knows if it lasts that long. It's definitely the same kind of formula as the Super Shock, not Super Shock, the Jelly Much. You can tell that it's going to dry out. So we'll see if it lasts, but that all came with the collection. So that was brought in obviously to my makeup. And on a side note, I did order something. I think it was like the beginning of October. I was on Monolith, which is the EU store online store where you can get a bunch of like indie makeup from all over the world. So it's a really good place if you live in EU to get US indie makeup, because it ships from Germany. So for me personally, it's like perfect because I don't have to pay for like extortionate shipping or customs or anything like that. So anything like that is always just a bonus. And I've always wanted to try Glaminatrix, so I did pick up this palette that they had on there. This is the Rich Romantic, and it's beautiful. I did also put this on my eyes when I did a get ready with me. I didn't really talk too much about the palette at the time because I was just talking about my life in general and where I am in terms of like my mental health and things. So everyone was so incredibly wonderful and kind in the comments. Thank you so much. I was kind of blown away just with how everyone took it so well, because I could see when I was looking back at that video, it just looked like I was whining and I was you know, like, just get over yourself. Like the cynic in me was just like, get over yourself, Gabby. Like, nobody cares. This is so ridiculous talking about this. And you were all so lovely and sweet, and I didn't get any negative comments, and I just thought, wow, you people are so lovely. Thank you so much. I mean, it really just made me feel so good, and also it really lifted my spirits after I posted that. It was really nice to get that off my chest and like explain what I was really thinking, whether it's warranted or not, and it's me whining or not. I appreciate it was me whining quite a bit about, you know, things that don't matter at all. But you were all so kind and lovely. It really did pick me up, and it was actually really helpful. So thank you so much to everyone who did respond to that. It was really genuinely lovely to read all of your comments, and I think I tried to respond to everyone because I appreciate, like, some of them had like, some of you had like paragraphs of text, so I really wanted to not ignore it, especially considering obviously you watched the video and it just meant a lot to me. So thank you again. I know I said thank you already on my community post. And I also just wanted to say, just sorry that I'm going on a tangent. I wasn't trying to, like, if anyone took offense to me where I'm saying, oh, you know, I'm over the hill, I can't really do what I want to do because I'm maybe not the age that people are, that they're successful and stuff. I'm not. I think it's wonderful and it's amazing that if you are 20 or younger or slightly older, like, if you this is like a great time if you want to be in social media. I think it's not for everyone because you do have to have a strong mentality, and also you do have to like have that fight and that chase in you, which I might not necessarily have. But I didn't want it to come across where if you were in that age group, I was alienating you in a way. I really didn't feel I wanted to do that. So I don't know if it came across that way, but I'm sorry if it did. I'm just envious of your age. I think that's what it is. I'm envious because I wish I could go back or had done things differently, but it's fine. It is what it is. But that is something else. Also, a bunch of you were saying, you know, yeah, you could do better maybe if you did viral videos, but I like you because you don't do viral videos and like try to chase all that stuff. And I completely agree. I know exactly, like, I know I do not do viral concepts, viral videos. My thumbnails have been like crap for years. I really don't put in the effort to try to attract new people or chase the newest, biggest thing, because I just don't care. Like, I know deep down I'm like, oh, but you know what, that would attract more people, but then it would also probably attract the wrong type of audience because I wouldn't be able to keep up with it. And I think something that other people have mentioned where they felt the same way is if you put out content that you don't necessarily like, it's going to get very, very difficult to keep that up, because the people that you require from that new content that you're posting, if you don't keep it up, they'll just drop off anyway. So I actually am very, very pleased and happy that you were all like, well, I like you because you don't do that content. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much, because I don't want to do viral videos. That would scare me in a sense, because you just get an influx of these new people that you're not sure are your people, you know what I mean? And then that's when you get the negative comments and the nastiness. And I don't want to be on here if there's any nastiness. Like, I don't want to bring negativity in my life. This is a hobby, it's something that I like to do, and it's just not something that I, you know, want to do if it's going to tear me down. Because if anything, all I want to do is lift me up and make me feel better. And if this makeup makes me feel better and posting makes me feel better, then that's all gravy. But if it starts doing the opposite, I think that's where I was coming from. Like, I can't do this anymore. So Anyway, tangent over. So sorry about that. Let's go back to this palette. I hardly spoke about this palette in that video, but I thought the quality of this was so beautiful, and I would definitely be up for trying more of Glaminatrix when like they have a color story that really excites me. I really wish that I had got that neutral one that they came out with 2 years ago, but then one of you said it wasn't actually as good as what I thought it might be. So I don't know, but this one was really beautiful, and there's so many other different color stories that I could go into. If you want to see the look, obviously you can go check out that video that I just spoke about, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this is beautiful. So I'm glad that I picked that one up. I also like Angie. I really do. I've been watching her for so long. She, like when I first got the Club Nebula palette, I did a first impressions, and she actually commented on my video when I had probably like 100 subscribers, and I will always remember that. I thought that was so sweet of her to come onto my channel, and she's like, wow, you really went for it, good job. And when you watch the video back, it's just pretty atrocious, the quality and what I'm doing, but you know what, I really like that she, you know, she's watching other people as opposed to just the bigger channels, and it was kind of cool. So obviously when she came out with her new brand, she just came out with the brushes, which I have tried the brushes. They're really beautiful. I use them pretty much every day, as well as other things that I use. And then she came out with her blushes. So I did pick up these two. I didn't get all of them because I just simply don't need them, but I got Riveting Rhubarb. And I'm really into my pinks at the moment, like my pink blush. That's like what I've been wanting to wear more, although I did go with more of a nude brown. I went into my warm blush, which I'm trying to hit pan on for my project pan, and it's not going anywhere. But anyway, I got this pink one, and I also got the Persistent Persimmon, which I haven't yet put on, but this one also would have been fine to wear today. This one I had to get because it's like her signature color, and I like these colors too, but I think given that we're going into winter, I don't think I'm going to be wearing this anytime soon. But I did pick these up, and I really liked it. It's pretty pigmented actually, this one. I wasn't really paying attention as I was putting it on my face in that video. It's the same video where I had the Glaminatrix palette. Because I was talking so much, I wasn't really paying attention. But I do want to go back into these and play with them a little bit more. So I did pick up these two. Okay, so in terms of stats, I'll just go through 2 stats, because honestly my stats haven't changed too much, because I think whenever I have a, you know, pan that palette or a project level up, the numbers for those palettes are just huge. So it's not really anything interesting to talk about in terms of which shades have I used the most this year, because it's pretty much the same ones. So I'll just go through how many pans I have. I have 89 eyeshadow pans now. This has fluctuated obviously when I declutter items or, you know, whatever. It always is up and down, but that is up from last month. I don't know how it is, because last time I said I had 87 and I've only hit 1 pan in the month. So I don't know where I'm missing a pan. Like, that's where I'm like, what happened to this other pan? Because there is another pan that I'm missing when I look at my numbers, but when I actually look at my palettes, I'm wrong. So maybe I was just wrong last month, potentially. So that means my pan percentage is 7.96%. That is included with, that does include the 2 new palettes that I've added in. So irregardless, it's just under 8, which I think is pretty decent. So it hasn't shifted too much, which is good. And I think for a month where I haven't really hit a lot of pans, I'm pleased with that. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna buy anything for Black Friday. I always do this, I always buy stuff before Black Friday, and then when it comes to Black Friday, I never see anything that I want to buy, and I feel quite proud of myself that I don't give in to the hype and I don't buy anything. If anything, I'll probably buy some electronic stuff for my computer. That's probably the only thing, because I think Black Friday has become so fake. Everybody raises their prices pre-Black Friday, and then when they do the 20-30% off, it generally is the same price as when you could have got it potentially a few months earlier. So yeah, I don't know. I especially with what I see in terms of Black Friday, working with brands and what they tend to do for Black Friday, it's too much sometimes. And I feel, for me as a consumer, I just don't want to give in to the hype. Unless there is an amazing deal, I don't think I will buy anything. I don't even know if I'll get the new Huda Beauty palette, to be fair. It's been a while since I bought from her. I really do. The only palettes I've tried are her Big Pan palettes. And everyone says this is going to be her last one, including her. She's like, this is my last Big Pan palette. But it just doesn't seem interesting enough for me to get it. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get it. Okay, so just really quickly in terms of the music that I've been listening to this month, I, for the ages, kept hearing Chapel Roan, Chapel Roan. Oh my gosh, I love Chapel Roan, blah, blah, blah. And I had never heard any of her music, or so I thought. So I purposely typed her name in because she never popped up on my Discover Weekly or the top hits or whatever. She's never popped up on my Spotify. So I don't know why, but so I had to search for her and then I played her. So she was my top artist for this last month, but it was because I listened to her on purpose. And I also didn't really listen to that much music this month, just from what I've seen so far. But she was my top artist. She's okay. I mean, I don't have anything to say about it. I'm not a diehard fan, but I also think I've heard one maybe of her songs or two of her songs before. And whatever. I mean, I would be open to listening to more, but I don't think there was one song where I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It was fun and poppy, and that's kind of what everyone says. So yeah, I think she's fine. I don't know. And then another one that I listened to is Inigo Quintero, which he was in my top 3 last month too. It was really just one song of his that I like, but I think I listened to more of his albums. Now, I could be wrong, but I think he's Brazilian or he's Portuguese. He's definitely one of the two. He's always on the radio here in Portugal, so, but there's something telling me that he's actually more of a Brazilian Portuguese as opposed to Portugal Portuguese. So I might be completely wrong. I could look it up too. I'm just lazy, so I haven't looked it up. But I listened to him. He was my second most listened. And then my third was Adele. This was more of a nostalgia thing last week. And this is why I know I listened to less music, because this was only last week that I listened to Adele. And I only listened to her for one day, and it was probably for an hour. So I really didn't listen to much. And it was just because I wanted to listen to some older songs and I wanted to feel like some nostalgia for it. But honestly, it gave me a headache, so I didn't listen to her too long. But those were my top 3 artists of this month. Not very exciting. So in terms of TV shows, obviously I watch Love is Blind. You know, I watch that every time it pops up. As I'm filming this, the reunion hasn't come up yet. But I do feel like this season has been the worst season because only 2 couples, I mean, spoiler alert, but only 2 couples made it to the altar. And I'm only convinced by one of the couples anyway because of like some weird stuff that was going on with the other guy, which there's a lot of talk about him and his children and everything. And I'm just like, ooh, I don't know what to believe. So I just thought it was a train wreck, that show, which can be fun, but I thought it was really boring, actually. I didn't really quite enjoy it this year, to be fair. So I watched that pretty much this month. We also finished, we're late to the party, but we finished House of the Dragon Season 2. We rewatched Season 1. That's why we were so late to getting to Season 2. But we rewatched Season 1 because we really wanted to like remember, because it was about 2 years ago that we watched that. And now we have to wait 2 more years to watch Season 3. Season 2 was pretty disappointing. I think it started off really strong. And actually the first episode I was very put off because I did not like what happened in the first episode. So I just thought that, you know, I said to my brother, like, what are they doing in the show? This is horrible. This is horrible. I was really, really upset. But then it got a little bit boring. And the ending was just like, what? That's how you're going to end? So we're waiting and we're waiting, and then nothing happens in the finale. And also we had only 8 episodes as opposed to 10 episodes in the first season, which I think was a cop-out. I don't think that's very fair. So anyway, we have to wait 2 more years to see Season 3. I still want to see it. I really like the actors. I like it, but it was disappointing. I think I've probably watched a bunch of other stuff that I can't recall right now. So anyway, let's look at the movies that I watched this last month. Not too many. Watched Salem's Lot because that came out beginning of October and I wanted to get into like spooky season. Gave that a 2-star. I really didn't enjoy it. I've never read the book. It's Stephen King. I actually didn't even realize it was about vampires. Considering as soon as you start the movie and you realize it's about vampires, I was like, ooh. And then the movie was so bad, I just didn't enjoy it. And then I watched It's What's Inside. This one, I kind of enjoyed the concept. I had never heard of this, and I don't think I recognize anyone in... Yeah, this is a movie where I didn't know any of the actors, but I watched it anyway. I think it was on Netflix. And it's basically about body swapping in a way. So this guy comes to this, it's these university, like college friends, and one of them's getting married, and it's like 10 years since they've all graduated, and obviously they all have different lives, and some of them aren't friends with each other anymore, but they had agreed to all be together the night before he gets married, or one of them gets married. It's like I don't know, something that they had all agreed to. So they all turn up, and this one guy comes, and he says he's created this device. Whether he created it or stole it, who knows. And it's a device where it allows you to swap bodies with somebody else. So I thought it was a cool concept, and obviously it's leaning more towards like a horror movie, but the horror aspects don't really start until 3/4 the way in the movie, so not really much happens for a long time. So if that was a criticism that I had, I did give it 2.5 because I thought it was entertaining, and you know, yeah, there's like little twists at the end. It's just like one of those movies that you put on, don't take it seriously, and you forget about it. So whatever. I don't think I would have remembered if I didn't have this list. I use Letterboxd, but I think there's some other apps that you can use, but I'm trying to track it on Letterboxd as best I can. Oh, I watched Lonely Planet. So this one is with one of the Liam Hemsworth and Laura Dern. I like Laura Dern. Sometimes I find her to be quite annoying though. I found like in this scenario, she seemed pretty annoying. I actually liked his character way more than her. I thought he would be really corny, but I really liked that the focus was a lot on how she needed to shift her attitude, and she was in the wrong a lot of the time, and he just had a lot of demons that he needed to deal with, or like feelings of rejection or not feeling good enough. Like I liked that they were exploring that side, which I thought was different from what we typically see. It is an age gap romance, so a lot of the criticism is like, why are we getting another age gap romance? But I thought it worked better than some other ones that I've seen, but I still gave it a 2-star. So having said all that, I gave it a 3-star. Sorry, I gave it a 3-star. I must have liked it. I don't know, I think I'm not a huge Hemsworth brother fan in terms of both of them, but I can appreciate, you know, what I see. And I actually kind of liked him in that movie. I don't think he's a great actor, but I thought he was fine. Oh, and then we watched Trap. We watched this just a few days ago because it just came out on HBO Max. So this is M. Night Shyamalan, and with Josh Hartnett, somebody who I have fancied since I was a teenager. So, you know, of course I'm going to watch him. I thought this was bad. I thought it was a comedy. Is it a comedy? I was just laughing. I was like the first 40 minutes of it, I just was like, is this a comedy? Are we supposed to take this seriously? It was so silly. And then it fell off a cliff in the last third of the movie. It was so boring. So part of the movie is basically, I don't want to give it away, but it's called Trap. There's a trap set up, and that is only about half of the movie, or maybe 2/3 of the movie. And then, like I said, the last third of the movie, the trap no longer exists. And it's just like, it's boring. It was boring. I didn't like the ending. I just hated the last part. I could see what they were trying to do, but I would have liked more of the trap aspect and more of that. And also the FBI agent walking around the stadium. She was so weak and so pathetic, and she obviously was terrible at her job. Like, she was good at her job because she was a FBI profiler, so she knew what she was looking for, but everybody else that was working for her was useless because he was just standing there in the wide open, you know, and nobody ever like, it's just so whatever, it doesn't matter. It's so stupid. Go watch it if you want a little bit of a giggle, but then turn it off, you know, after a moment, because it's just not good. I gave that a 2 stars. So yeah, no good movies really. I haven't watched a good movie in a really, really long time. I think Flower Moon, something like that, the Leonardo DiCaprio. I think that was the last one that I was like, yeah, I really love this movie. But I can't think of any other movies that I really like. I mean, that was my month for October. Thank you so much if you're still here. And I will see you all in November. Bye.